Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is part 3 of my experience of my microdiscectomy surgery, L5S1. I'm gonna, like I said in the past couple videos, I'm gonna try to keep this going. For those of you that have to go through this, it's just nice to have, I guess, success stories or videos to help along the way. I am at the just 2 hours shy of the 5-day mark from my surgery. Feeling pretty good today. Not a lot of pain. So I think I woke up around 5 a.m. With not so much pain, but having your bones worked on like that during surgery, just more being stiff. So about 5 a.m. I did take one of my pain pills just to kind of help go back to sleep and relieve some of that stiffness, because when you lay in bed at night, 6 to 8 hours, you're gonna feel the stiffness and not so much the pain. And it is 1 p.m. now, and I have not had any other pain pills, either prescription or over the counter. And really, I don't plan on to take any more until probably this evening around bedtime. So I started to taper off day 3. I was very consistent to keep ahead of the pain, meaning using the pain pills prescribed. Every 4 to 5 hours, I would take one, even if it was in the middle of the night. If I hadn't woken up already due to discomfort, I would make sure to wake up just to keep those in my system. And it really seemed to be very helpful. The pain, it hasn't been terrible. You can definitely feel it's there. But I would tell you that the top 3 things that have been the hardest with this surgery is, for me, is the mobility issues, right? I'm a very active person. You have to be extremely careful 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I do have the back brace on during awake hours of the day, but the simplest things, like if you drop your TV remote or cell phone, that's a problem, right? So I use the little grabber as showed in a previous video, or ask someone for help. So that's been a struggle, wanting to probably do more than I should, which I have not, I don't believe, but it's hard just to keep that mentality as you start to get better. The second one, I would say, was the sore throat from being put to sleep. When they stick the tube down your throat, I don't know the process, but for 2 or 3 days afterwards, really just felt like I had a pretty bad sore throat. So it was just uncomfortable. Eating certain foods was kind of challenging just because of that feeling in your throat. That has gone. I think after the 3rd day, I was fine there. And the third item, I would say, and these aren't in any specific order, was challenging for me. This is kind of strange, but never been put to sleep. Never really been on pain pills, and apparently when you go through these procedures, any type of surgery, it can kind of mess up your bowels, right? And I think it's the pain pills or the medicine they use to put you to sleep, but I guess it can cause issues, and constipation related issues. And that was, I've never ever had that happen before, and it was a little scary. You're kind of up against a timeline. If you don't use the bathroom and however many days, I don't know what the rule is, 5 days, 6 days, you have to call the doctor, and who knows what happens at that point. But it's a weird feeling. It was uncomfortable. I would say that was probably a worse feeling than the surgery itself for me. Like I said, I'm not used to that. Had I known, of course I'd always heard this, just thought wouldn't happen to me, but had I known it most likely happens to everyone, my key advice there would be take precautions, eat properly before. You can't eat up until midnight anyway before the procedure, but just kind of prepare your body going into it, and especially when you get home. To prepare your body, I would recommend taking, stool softeners and what do they call it? The powder. It's a powder. to help use the bathroom. Unfortunately, I don't know what it's called, but we had some, and it seemed to help. So that's kind of the top 3 items of concern now. I can definitely see going into the 5th day, as I get better, as I feel better, it's going to be a challenge to go 12 weeks without lifting basically 20 pounds. You know, it's 10 pounds to 6 weeks, then 20 pounds to 12 weeks. That's going to be challenging. I just have to continue to remind myself I do not want to go through this again. Because the nerve pain, you know, some people have it come back first couple days, weeks after the surgery, which is fairly common, I'm told, but I have had 0 nerve pain. I can sit, I can stand, no issues at all. I can tell you though, a weird feeling I do have is where the pain was, and that was in my butt and leg, left side, so left glute area and left hamstring. Kind of stopped at the back of the knee, but I can feel where that pain used to be, almost like a muscle memory type feeling where your body's telling you, hey, this should be hurting, but it's not. It's a weird feeling. It doesn't hurt. It's just a weird sensation that comes sporadically, but not a big deal. That should go away as time progresses. Miralax, that is the term I was looking for. Back to the other conversation of drinking the powder, it's Miralax. So I would recommend that to kind of help you feel better. Let's see. I guess other words of encouragement is probably what you're here to, or why you're here, and kind of what you want to hear. I can tell you yesterday was my 4th day, right around the 4th full day. I don't like being cooped up in the house, and we actually went out to eat last night, 4 days after surgery. No issues. Was able to, a little slow walking into the restaurant, just being super cautious. You know, you don't want to fall, you don't want to trip over the curves. We have 2 kids, so just, you know, making sure I pace myself for the walk, which wasn't far. Just need to be prepared for that. Unfortunately, all the booths were full, so we did have to sit at just a standard table with wooden chairs. And we were there probably 45 minutes, and my body was saying, it's time to get up, right around that mark, but it was fine. We ate, got up, walked around, getting a little stiff, and by the time we got home, I was fine. So I think that should be encouraging, right? 4 days after back surgery, you're going out to dinner. Happened a little quicker than I had thought. And actually tonight, the 5th day, we're gonna probably do the same. I'd say as long as you don't have a weight for your table, you should be okay. Let's see, anything else? I've noticed, it's summer month right now. It's August of 2022. Live in Kentucky. It's pretty hot, 90 degrees. I've noticed wearing the back brace. I personally don't want to be outside. I typically enjoy being out in the heat and in the summer months, but at this point you can't be in the pool, you can't take a bath, you can take a light shower, but I would just prefer to stay indoors. Me personally, you get sweaty with this big bulky brace on, and I would just rather avoid it. A little bit about the incision. My discharge paperwork said 48 hours after the surgery, you can remove your waterproof bandage. You can take a shower at that 48-hour mark. So what I did is took a shower with the bandage on. Then my wife took the bandage off. We just figured, get it wet, let it steam a little bit. Hopefully it's not gonna be as painful to rip off your back. It was okay. Mine actually, as she was pulling it off, I think some of the bandage, not the adhesive, but the actual cotton part of the bandage had kind of, I guess, dried to the incision. So it kind of somewhat irritated, don't want to say reopen the wound, but it irritated it enough to where it might have caused it to bleed just a little bit. Nothing major, not even enough to where you could see it through the new Band-Aid. And really, even the first Band-Aid, I could barely see a faint line of dried blood. So not a lot of bleeding. I was surprised. And I've been taking a shower every day since day 2. Yesterday was the first time I took it without the Band-Aid on. I tried not to let the water hit directly on the incision point, more let the water flow and go down your back. I'm still kind of weird about touching it. So I would put soap on my hands, rub the area above it, didn't touch the actual incision, and just let the water and the soap rinse over it. It seemed to be okay. Did not hurt at all when the water or soap hit it, so that that was a relief. And that's what I'll continue to do as I move forward. They say it could scab, which is what you want. Any time from day 2 to day 8 to 10, I'm not there yet. They say once it scabs, you can take the Band-Aid off for good. I'm probably another 2 days out from that if I had to guess. But we'll see. So that's it. That's all I've got for now. I've got a follow-up appointment on Tuesday, so that'll be 8 days from the procedure. I'll probably do another video on that day just to let you know how that, it's actually a telehealth call or appointment, believe it or not. So we'll see how that goes, but I'll keep you posted on the status as we continue to move forward with the healing process. All right, talk to you later.